to another episode of Mrs. Danielle DeVita. So I have a treat for you today. So let me go ahead and discuss what we're going to speak about today. I'm excited about this particular episode because of all of the episodes I've done. I do think that this one will it'll kind of encompass everything I spoke about, but it'll all be wrapped into the preparation of being a wife 101. And what I mean by that is, if you are someone who wants to be married, you could be single right now, you could be in a relationship, you could be engaged, or you could already be married, but this can also help you be the wife that you want to be. So I have 4 tips for you on how to prepare to be a wife. You may have seen many videos of people saying, how to be a wife, but I'm here to tell you, I think that, I've prepared to be a wife for quite some time. And it's not me saying, I'm going to be a wife, and I need to do this, and I need to do this. No, it was some type of transformation that turned me into wife material. So when I say preparation, I'm preparing you to be a wife. I'm preparing you to be wife material. In essence, any woman could be a wife essentially, but I'm saying I'm preparing you to be the good feminine wife that you were designed to be. And I don't mean this good wife in terms of what guys say, oh, this is a good wife, she's this and this and this, but what God has intended for you to be. Now, if you're not Christian, or religious, then this is for you to be the best wife you can be for a successful marriage. Okay? So these tips are not necessarily religious or biblical. There's going to be some times where I'm going to insert some things, if you are religious, what to incorporate in your marriage. But you could do these things and have a successful marriage, whether you're religious or not. I am married. I've been married 11 and a half years. I got married at 21. And I would say my husband and I always had a good marriage, but there's been a time in my life where I've gone through a change, and now I feel like our marriage is awesome. It is what I would like to consider just perfectly healthy. I am in love with this man, and he is in love with me, and I'm at that point where I need him. And in essence, you don't necessarily need anyone. Like, someone could be independent and do their thing, but I need him in my life. I need him to be with me. And it's just like, people grow up without parents, but you need your parents. They're going to be there to give you that guidance and that love that you want and feel that you need. You can grow up and be a woman without children, but it's like you need that, And once you know what that love is, it's like you have to have it. And I want you to have that wonderful, blessed marriage, and I want you to know what it feels like to have that kind of bond and that kind of love, that kind of friendship. So let me really quick turn off my notifications because I am getting a million notifications. So if you have that kind of life, then you know what I'm talking about. But here we go. 4 things. The first thing I would say is heal. In order for any relationship, you need to already be healed. Heal those wounds, whether it's abandonment, neglect, any type of mistreatment or violation of your body, your mind, your soul of any kind. Anyone who has tried to strip away and break you in a negative way. They can't really do it in a positive way, but anyone who has tried I'm trying to avoid using certain words here on YouTube, but if you know what I mean, any type of hurt, mistreatment, any type of um, abandonment, neglect, any of those things that has happened to you, any decisions that you have made that has led to something, some grave decision, some fatal decisions, some decisions that caused a consequence that you cannot reverse. Um, those are things of the past. You are not your issue. You are not your past. You're not your mistake. Those mistakes have happened. Those things have happened. That hurt and that pain has happened. But your past is a history lesson. All right? It is not your future. Your identity is rooted in your future. The reason why this is important to understand is because so many people find it that they cannot heal because they are either holding on or they feel like whatever someone has said to them, you won't ever be ish, you ain't ish, or you will never amount to anything or be something. These things could be lies. These could be based off of mistakes and habits that you've had, based off of your personality that you've had. But you need to heal from those things that people have said about you that's negative. Heal from those. Heal, learn, and grow from that. Okay, if you take on all of those wounds, it's hard for you to go into a relationship healthy. So I would say, if you need therapy, if you need coaching, then you need to get it. Now, I offer coaching. Again, therapy and coaching are two different things, because when you get to the point of some type of mental trauma, physical trauma, things that have happened, you are going to need a therapist. If it's something like relationship, but it's more surface level, more so a mindset thing, more so than some type of mental thing, then you can get coaching. Um, if you once you heal, and understand that these are my past mistakes, but it is not me, it is not who I am, it is something I've done or something I've experienced, something that has happened to me, but I will not take on that and carry that for the rest of my life, carry that into all of my relationships. And relationships could be any type of interaction you have with others, whether taking that on to your relationship with a new romantic partner, taking that on your relationship with you and your child, you and other co-workers or people that's in your daily life, your neighbors, friends, family, and things like that. So you have to take that hurt, that pain, and push it away. All right, you push all those negative thoughts away, you burn them, because they are of the past. You forgive those who have done those things to you, but you don't forget, because you need it to be a history lesson to not repeat itself. So if it's a decision you made, you remember that decision to not do it again. If it's something that has happened and you have ignored your gut feeling, your intuition, your discernment, you're gonna remember that. So next time you'll see those red flags. You'll see that spirit on the next person when they come and say, "Nope, I seen it on this person, and I'm not gonna let it happen again." So you don't want it to completely forget. You need to keep it in your mind as a history lesson to not repeat itself. Okay. Now, once you have done that, then you need to transform your mind and your heart. So let me give you an example. If I have had issues with men, let's say I've had daddy issues, which I don't, but if I had daddy issues and my dad was never around, or he neglected me, and all of these things have happened to me, I'm going to, if I take that on, that, and I didn't heal, and I take on those wounds, when I go into my next relationship with a man and I say, you know what, all men are the same. All men leave you and all men neglect you. All men just do this, things ish. So I've taken on my daddy issues and I pushed that onto men that I've interacted with, whether it was a male coworker, male friends, male family members, or a romantic partner. So this is when you don't heal. Your mind is seeing things, your view of the world, your perspective is based off of your hurt and your pain. Okay, how you view other people. If you let's take race for example. If you've always been mistreated because of your race, constantly, back to back, sometimes you can see things one-sided. Everything is always about race. Now, I'm here to say a lot of things in society is just rooted in, um, uh, you know, systematic racism. So, but you have to get to the point where you're not seeing everything and everyone as always doing something to you. Maybe it's a decision you made. Maybe it's something else. It's not always about race. It's not always about gender. Sometimes it could be my behavior. It could be that I could have been masculine and I got that type of reaction from someone. It may not have been necessarily, oh, because I am black, they think I am the mad black woman. It could be my behavior or my action that have caused that, having nothing to do with gender or having nothing to do with race. But if you see the world one-sided, you have a distorted view. And sometimes your experiences are going to cause you to see things one-sided. That's why you want to heal, so you can get that perspective that there is good and evil. Okay? There's good and evil. The world isn't all evil. The world isn't all good. But you have a balance. All men aren't bad, and all men aren't awesome. But that's where your intuition and that discerning spirit and all of these things come into play for you to get a balance. Everything you can't look at with an evil eye, and everything you can't have blinders on and not seeing things for what it is. Because believe it or not, we are in a warfare. But you're not always in a war zone. So just to make sure you understand, 1, you heal. 2, you transform your mind and your heart. So basically, you're making sure that you have gotten to the point that you are transforming your thoughts and your perspectives to see things differently, instead of seeing things only based on the blinders of hurt and pain. People who grow up in hurt and pain, sometimes when they see the world, they see it differently than someone who grew up in a more healthy or happier household. And sometimes people get a healthy dose, because no matter how sheltered you may have been, when you go out in the real world, you're going to see things for what it is at some point in time in your life. So I would say that once you get to that point where you're transforming your heart, so you're not harboring this all men are, all people are, that kind of negative feeling in your heart, because things that are in your heart and your mind, they're going to come out your mouth. So then that's why it's important that the things that you say about your perspective to others and your perspective about yourself. So, okay, so let's say if you haven't healed from the people saying, you always make mistakes, you're a baby mama, you're this, you're that, you're never gonna amount to anything, you ain't ish. Then you take on those lies and those things that are said about you, and whether if some of those things may have been true, you take on that, and then you automatically start speaking negatively about yourself. And then things that you say out into the atmosphere are going to come to pass. But it's because you said it and you walked into that negativity. If I say I am beautiful and I am loving and I am sweet and I am kind and I am generous and I am assertive and I am powerful, if I am fearless, if I say those things, I can't just say it. I must say it. I must speak it. I must think it. I must feel it in my heart, and I must become it. All right? So I believe that I am a beautiful person, no matter what anyone says. That means I must be beautiful inside and out. That means in my mind, my thoughts are thoughts of beauty. In my mind, I have thoughts of love. In my mind, I have thoughts of peace, which means things that come out my mouth cannot be messy, because that is not peace. Things that come out my mouth must be in love, because if not, it's going to be tearing people down. All right? Discouraging them, belittling them. All those things are not kindness or love. People can be beautiful on the outside and have an ugly spirit. So when someone says that they want to be something, and that goes with understanding your identity. Your identity is rooted in your future. Your past, your issues, your mistakes are not your identity. Your identity is rooted in your future. And in your future, how do you see yourself? Close your eyes. How do you see yourself? What do you see? I see myself smiling, happy, at peace, not anxious, not worrisome. I don't see, I am not my failures. I am my victories. I am victorious. And I am not a victim. So when I see myself in this positive way, I am going to speak it, I am going to think it, and I am going to walk in it. So every time I walk, every time I speak, every time I think, it is going to be that person I said I wanted to be. So if you are this woman that is this perfect wife, this Proverbs wife, in Proverbs they describe the I think it's Proverbs 34. Don't quote me on that. I think it's Proverbs 34 woman, and they talk about the type of woman this woman is. But you can find your own ideal version of the woman, the wife you want to be. Okay, and if you're saying, okay, well, I'll get to this on the next part. So if you are wanting to be this person, walk and live in it. And once you are walking in and you're continually working to be that woman in your behaviors, in your actions and things like that, and you're speaking it, then naturally you're going to have confidence in it, because then you are sure of yourself. I know I am beautiful inside and out, and I am confident in it. So there's nothing anyone could say that could discourage that make me believe otherwise. I am sure of myself. That's how you need to be. That's assertiveness. That's confidence. Not arrogance, not aggressiveness. I am sure of who I am. And if you decide to say something otherwise, I will say. And this is how you need to be. If anyone is saying something that is a lie, that is the opposite of what you are, if they're speaking something that you do not desire to be, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, and those who speak ill of me shall be condemned by God. So you need to get to that point in your life that you're not just saying it, but you're actually living this person who you are. And it's going to take time, day after day. Think about it. Change your mindset and be mindful of the person that you say you want to be. So then that brings me to my next point of grow up. Grow up is another way of saying be mature. And how are you mature? If you really did heal, which is 1, transform your mind and your heart, 2, then now you can be able to be mature in your emotions, mature in your decision making, mature, right, in your reactions, okay? Mature in your attitude. Why? Because if you did indeed transform your mind and your heart, everything that comes out of your mouth, every action that you have is going to embody the person that you said that you wanted to be, that identity you have assumed, okay? And that means people need to see that change. If you really did change your mindset, then that's what you're going to be. Again, going back to the example, if I say I want to be a woman who speaks peace and blessings and love to people, I should not be someone always interrogating, initiating arguments, instigating, someone who is always combative. I should not be someone who is messy. All right. I should not be that person, because I said that is not who I am, but yet I'm acting that way. They're contradictory. So if you do not want those things, then learn from your past. Okay? So now that we've grown up, we've matured emotionally, mentally, in our hearts, we have matured, which you can't mature until you heal. So once we've done those things, once we found out who we are and our identity and our confidence, and we've grown up, we're actually able to be in a healthy relationship, because who knows, you cannot go into a marriage not knowing who you are, not being confident in yourself, because low self-esteem, lack of confidence, somebody can come and trip you up immediately, and they will deceive you, and you would think that you are in some great relationship, some great marriage, until you get bamboozled because you didn't know who you were. You weren't sure of yourself. You couldn't stand on your convictions. You didn't listen to wisdom and guidance, because you had blinders on, because you weren't sure of who you were. Okay? So again, this is not this is this is you being the woman you need to be. So when that guy comes, he sees, this is the woman I want. He sees that woman. So you're not seeing this guy and you're, oh, let me look good for him. Let me do this for him. No, you're getting yourself together so you can be the wife you're designed to be. And he should be somewhere being learning to be a leader, a provider, a man who is not toxic in his masculinity. If you are religious, there is a book about power of a praying wife. That is a good book to have. This book will teach you how to pray to make sure that things that come out your mouth are of a supportive wife, to build up and not tear down. We don't tear down relationships. We build bridges. So that means everything you say needs to be towards building bridges. You don't want to say something that you can take back. So many women that I've coached, they say, well, I slipped up and I said something because I was angry. I said it out of anger. You can't take words back. If you can't say anything that's going to build him up and you know it's going to upset him, just don't say anything. Just say, you know what? I need some time to think to myself. Men do it many times. You know what? I can't talk to you right now. I have to go because I really am upset. And that's where that self-control comes in, because you can get anyone to a point where they're going to not be who they were designed to be. So they have to realize that too. They get that wisdom and say, okay, I'm getting out of the mind frame that I need to be in. So let me go cool down. Let me get that self-control back so my flesh won't take over me. So that's that. So I said, heal, transform your mind and your heart, grow up. And the fourth one would be to glow up. Make sure your outside matches your inside. A good example is a person who's always wearing black. You assume then that they must have a gloomy life. Well, a person who's wearing pink or yellow or something light, you may think they're all bubbly inside. A person who's wearing royal blue or red and things like that, or fuchsia or something like that, you may think that they are somewhat powerful or something like that. Or in their lifestyle, they have some type of lifestyle where they are the alpha type of some sort. These are just your perceptions. It may not very well be true, but this is what you want. You want, if you are looking to be a wife, this man is, when he's walking about, he's going to say, that, her, right there. But so what that means is you can't be looking toe up from the flow up and think your husband's going to find you. He's not, because he's going to be looking for this woman and all he sees is a woman with a bonnet on her head, a woman who's got her hair all over the place, a woman who's not put together. And I'm not saying you're going to be perfect all the time. No. But perfect, your best at that moment in time. Your best is going to change by season and situations. Your best during that time of the month may not be your best when it's not that time of the month. Your best when you're burnt out is not going to be the same as when you are full, have full of energy. Your best may change, but it needs to be your best at that time. So you need to look your best, smell your best, do your best, try your best, love the best way you can, heal, right? Everything that you do, make sure you give your best, but those who deserve your best, but dismiss the rest. All right. So that is all I have for you. Again, heal, transform, grow up, and glow up. Your outside need to match your inside. It's going to be hard to make your outside look good when you haven't gotten your mind right. Once you get your mind right, get that clutter out, become at peace and in harmony, then you'll be able to get to the point where you can focus on your outer beauty. So people need to see the change from inside out. All right. Because if you do it outside in, which you can try to, because some people need to feel and get that confidence by the way they dress, but you don't want to appear fake. You need to be genuine in this change. And when you make these changes, that man is going to see you. He's going to be ready for you. So many people look feminine on the outside, but their mind isn't right. And they're wondering, I have this, I have that, I'm successful, I look good, I do this, I do that. But they're not where they need to be. They're not in the position that they need to be in. They're not fulfilling the purpose at which they need to be in to find that man. Because the man you want needs to have his purpose, and he needs to be a godly man, which means if you're saying you want a godly man, then you need to be a godly woman. All right? And that's where the power of prayer, those scriptures come in at. But again, preparing to be a wife 101. These are going to be some simple things that you need to do. If you don't want to be a wife, but you just want to be a prosperous woman fulfilling her purpose, then this is what you can do as well. So that is all I have for you. I do have another video to talk a little bit more about identity and confidence. So I will be doing that in just a moment. Take care.